Sports Team presents your Southern Tier Kickoff.
What's up? What's going on? Welcome back in once again to your Saturday morning Southern Tier Kickoff. I'm Zach Grady. Joining me, as always, the rest of the Southern Tier Kickoff team. It's going to be a great morning for you, and we are excited as there are two big games on the slate involving teams right around this area, the ones that you care about. So we're going to get into all of that, but before we do, of course, got to introduce you to the team. Got Kevin Quinn and Kyle Spisak here to my left, Michael Villegas here to the right. Gentlemen, how are we doing this morning?
Football, doing great.
Been waiting for this week for a minute.
You're a man of many words, aren't you, Kevin?
I just want to get to the good stuff.
Michael, how are you doing here this morning?
I'm always good. I'm going to save the rest for the football talk as well.
All right, you guys don't, no pleasantries, no small talk. Let's just get right into it. So let's do that. Let's just get right into it. And of course, the thing that we are looking forward to, and the thing that this week and all season people have been looking forward to, a long-anticipated matchup between two of the top teams, not just in the Big Ten, not just in the area, but in the nation as a whole. We have the number 3 Penn State Nittany Lions taking on the number 4 Ohio State Buckeyes. Kyle, Spisak's got a look at our game day here in Happy Valley. Kyle, what's going on this afternoon?
And College Game Day has made its way down to State College, Pennsylvania for the 62nd time this morning as the number 3 ranked Nittany Lions host the number 4 ranked Ohio State Buckeyes. Every year, this is one of the most highly anticipated games, but the Buckeyes have had the Penn State Nittany Lions number for the past 7 meetings between the teams. But could this year be the difference? Ohio State comes into Central PA with a bruised and battered offensive line, missing likely second-round NFL pick left tackle Josh Simmons, which has halted the running game for OSU, averaging 2 yards per carry against Nebraska last week. Both coaches Ryan Day and James Franklin have struggled heavily against top 5 teams in their tenure, making this a must-win game for both programs for reputation's sake. But the big question surrounding this game is, will junior quarterback Drew Aller be in the lineup for the noon kickoff?
He's played enough football that I think that decision will go all the way up to game time. But the reality is we're going to have both guys ready, and you could even make the argument all 3 guys ready, which is challenging to do in a game week, is to try to get all those guys ready.
And the keys for Penn State in this matchup will be, 1, don't let Ohio State get the pass game going early. They can't run because of that line, so they're going to have to pass. 2nd, OSU plays a tight press coverage, use play actions and Pribula's play style of getting the legs running for those breakout plays. And the crowd, well, they're going to be loud. Penn State needs to leverage this, get inside Ohio State's head, and let them beat themselves with mistakes.
All right, Kyle, and this is just coming in about 10-15 minutes ago, ESPN reporting that Allard is getting the go. He will be making the start today. So Penn State will have their full offense out on the field for this game. And listen, we've talked about this all year. We've mentioned it whenever we bring up Penn State, whenever we talk about James Franklin. It's not going to come down to the 7-0, 8-0, 9-0 record that they've been building. It comes down to whether or not you can beat Ohio State, whether or not you can beat Penn State, or Michigan. And the difference, though, this year is that even if they lose this game, I think Penn State has done enough to get a spot in the college football playoff. And that's been the case. What's been James Franklin's biggest thing is he going to ever get them to the playoff? So whether they win or lose, they do. I feel like he's going to get them in this year. But this is it. This is the season. This is the test. This is what's needed to happen all year.
Yeah, Ohio State does have that one loss, that heartbreaker versus Oregon. I kind of feel like that has them coming to this game. Really circled on the schedule. Must-win game for them because the 2-loss Ohio State team, even though it's a 12-team playoff now, might not be looking as good. So I think they really have this one circled in. Aller might not be 100%. Excited to see how this one goes.
Yeah, this one was a very tight one for me as well. Penn State has been good so far, but this is a real test. Number 3 versus number 4. I mean, you're going to have 2 head coaches in Franklin, Ryan Day. It's a big matchup. Neither of them, for me, have done enough to prove it to where it's going to be one side or the other. That's why this one was the hardest one for me this week. I don't know about you guys, for me in the pick'ems, because it was just a tightly contested matchup between these two. Because it could go either way with Drew Aller being a little bit of a question mark today. made me, I don't know if we're giving pick'ems away just yet, but made me sway one way over the other just because he's not 100%. If he was, it might have swayed the other way, but it is, I think, a very evenly close matchup and hopefully a great game.
All right, Kyle, we left you enough time. You said you had something to say about this game. Go right ahead.
I mean, and going off your point, Michael, I mean, yes, Aller is a little bit banged up, but the thing is, if anything, that plays into their game better this week because Ohio State's playing that heavy press coverage. They're only running a one-man spy on Prbula, who's quick. He plays a Lamar Jackson-style game. If you run a play action, get him to the outside, that's going to open up men downfield. He can hit them downfield, or he can make that play on the ground with his legs. If anything, I think this plays out better for Penn State because now they have that dual threat option at QB between Prbula and Aller.
All right, listen, I said, as we're going to get real quick, we'll go around, just give our picks out here. I said everything in my body, this is the time. This is when Penn State's going to win. This is when they are going to take the step forward. I got Ohio State.
Yeah, Michael said it was hard. I thought it was fairly easy. I also have Ohio State.
Listen now to both of you. Listen, this right here, do you see this? This is trash. This is awful. This is a horrible program. Let's go. Let's look. Where do they play? All right, you take a look at the United States. They play in the Midwest. You know why they play in the Midwest? Because they're mid. They're a mid program. Their offense hasn't been great this year. They got Quinn Judkins. He hasn't been able to do anything because that line is so battered. Jalen Reed's going to lock down Jeremiah Smith all game long. Abdul Carter's too good at the linebacker position. Linebacker, you don't get that name for nothing. They are a linebacker school. Penn State's taking this one. Come on. Happy Valley rolls.
Steve Kornacki with the pick over there.
Wow. It really was. That was fantastic. I think I'm going to go Ohio State in this one. I just give the edge to them. They've proven more a consistent program, unlike Penn State. I don't know if Kyle showed a little bit of favoritism, but that's going to come my way once Syracuse comes around, which we're going to get to in a little bit.
It's got a bunch of haters up here. It's just Penn State haters, man. It's ridiculous.
We have so much more coming for you coming up after the break, including a live look from the JMA Wireless Dome. But first, our chief meteorologist, Howard Manges, has today's kickoff forecast from Happy Valley.
Well, there sure is a big football game today down in central Pennsylvania taking place at Beaver Stadium. Kickoff, 12 p.m. This is a big game. You got an undefeated Nittany Lions team going up against the Buckeyes team that only has one loss. So it should be a pretty good battle down at Beaver Stadium there. And you know what? They couldn't ask for better weather once again here. We're going to have clouds in our neck of the woods, but this game's being played down at Penn State. It looks really nice down there. There's absolutely zero weather concerns. Kickoff a little cool, but again, it's November. 53 degrees. That's not a bad start to a football game. And even as they move through the rest of the day, temperatures are still going to be in the mid-50s.
When we tuck our kids in, time stops. In that moment, it's about them, their futures, their dreams. But we also worry. Because look, too many people in power will do anything to keep it, and it's hurting all of us. That's why I'm running. To fight corruption and corporate greed, to lower costs. And when it comes to the border, I'll stand up to anyone to keep our families safe. For me, it's about their future and yours. I'm Josh Riley, and I approve this message.
I'm Martha Stewart, and this is one of my new kittens. Of course, I want to give them the happiest, healthiest life possible, which is why I choose Pretty Litter. We love this litter because it's tough on odor and helps keep tabs on their health by changing color to show high, low, and typical pH levels. Pretty Litter is also low dust. And whether you're a new cat parent or a lifelong cat lover like me, this low-maintenance litter is the game changer. Try it today. Go to prettylitter.com.
Injured? Seriously? Before you make that all-important first call, ask yourself this: am I going to settle for some, or do I deserve the maximum? Hey, it's your call. Stanley Law.
Having a place to call home can be challenging, and some only see it as a dream. But Broome County Habitat for Humanity can turn that dream into a reality, building and providing safe and affordable homes for families right here in Broome County. We believe in giving people a hand up, not a hand out. Our partner families work hard, both building their homes and must meet income eligibility requirements. With every home we build, we create opportunities for families to thrive. Each new home means another family gets the chance to dream bigger, live healthier, and feel safer. It's more than just a house. It's a home filled with the possibilities of tomorrow. We believe in the power of community. Our volunteers come together to build not just homes, but a stronger and more hopeful future. Join us in making a tangible difference. Your time and effort can change lives and transform Broome County. Are you ready to apply for a mortgage or want to learn how you can help? Visit our website or give us a call today. Broome County Habitat for Humanity. Building homes, building community, building hope.
Fall in the Southern Tier. It's a beautiful time of year. But when the seasons change, being the most accurate with your first alert matters. Cold and rainy one day, sunny and warm the next. That means you need to be prepared. Plan your day with 12 News' first alert weather team, notifying you to severe and changing weather in the area you're headed. When the seasons change, accuracy matters. The 12 News weather team, the Southern Tier is most accurate.
Oliver Wendell Douglas, man of few words.
Oh, for the love of... Oh, for the love of...
Oh, for the love of me TV.
Oh, for the love of...
Weeknights on Binghamton's Me TV. The 12 Sports Team presents your Southern Tier Kickoff.
Thank you for coming back to the Southern Tier Kickoff. And Syracuse is coming back to a noon kickoff, that between the Orange and Virginia Tech at the JMA Wireless Dome. Syracuse is coming back home after a 3-game road stretch, and Kevin Quinn is going to let us know a little bit more about today's game.
Yeah, Syracuse coming off a big loss last week, 41-13. Kyle McCord throwing 5 interceptions in that one, including 3 pick sixes. Not the game that you want to have. We'll go against conference foe Virginia Tech this week, who has been on a tear after losing to Miami, who is currently sitting atop the ACC. Virginia Tech is winners of their last 3, a 31-7 win over Stanford, who gave Syracuse some trouble at home, a 42-12 win over Boston College, and 21-6 win over Georgia Tech. Both teams share that win over Georgia Tech. Bashal Tootin, a big reason for that, along with dual threat quarterback Kyron Drones. Fran Brown spoke to the media ahead of the game, saying they're ready for whatever is thrown their way this afternoon at the JMA Dome.
I mean, we're just going to go play football, though. I'm not in to give you none of our secrets of what we want to do, but we want to play ball. We don't want the same thing to happen again. I think our quarterback is really good, and it was just it was an off night. It was an off night for our football program, you know, for the entire team, starting with the head football coach. So, but we'll be excited about Saturday. We get a chance to go play against a great football team coming to our house.
And some keys to the game for this one. It's a get-back game for Kyle McCord. Forget about last game against Pitt. Forget about the 5 interceptions. Forget about the 3 pick sixes. And remember, he still did have 300 yards passing. And move on. Don't get beat by the same team twice. Don't try to overdo it, and just play your game. Syracuse needs to feed their running back, LaQuinn Allen. 15 carries for 232 yards isn't going to cut it, and Fran Brown knows that. He needs to have a balanced offense, get him going, and that'll open up the passing lanes as well. The offensive line needs to be a big part of that. The third key, slow down Bashal Tootin. Virginia Tech was on its longest win streak since a long time ago, before the loss to Miami. The senior running back currently ranks 2nd in the ACC and 9th in the country in rushing yards per game at 118.9. The Cuse defense will need to step up, tackle, and slow him down.
All right, let's get a little bit more on this game, and we're going to go out live right now to 12 Sports' Keith Savage, who is outside of the JMA Wireless Dome. Keith, what's going on outside of Cuse?
Yeah, thanks, Zach. It is freezing outside here, but they're playing in the dome. The JMA Dome is going to be jam-packed as the Orange are hosting the Hokies. The Orange, like you said, coming off a tough loss to Pitt. They're 2-2 in conference. Play by Virginia Tech is 3-1. Today is homecoming, but that's not the biggest thing. If they win today, they're bowl eligible for the 3rd straight season. Big reason why they've been so successful is the quarterback, Kyle McCord. 354 passing yards per game is what he's averaging. That's the most in the entire country, and no Syracuse quarterback has ever done that through 7 games. But with all those yards, it goes to a lot of receivers. 3 guys over 65 receiving yards. No other team in Division I has that. Quinn Allen, the running back, nearly 100 yards a game total, and to go along with his 7th touchdown. all time, the Orange has this battle. They're 11-9 against Virginia Tech. We haven't played in there since 2016. Syracuse hasn't played a home game since the month of September. Second straight year they haven't played October. Not sure why they don't like playing in this game, but Virginia Tech, their defense is no joke. Just giving up 18 points per game against ACC teams, excuse me. But if Orange want to win this game, it's going to have to be a high-scoring one because their defense has struggled at times where the offense does shine. But the kickoff is set for noon here. That's all I have here. Now back to you guys at the desk.
All right. Thank you so very much, and we will let you go because you look cold, and I'm sure the warmth of the JMA Dome is calling your name. So, all right, we're going to get into the picks here. Syracuse, I mean, when it comes down to this, and you've mentioned this a couple of times, they've looked like the Syracuse of old. They've shown signs that they're going to take the next step, that they're going to become a new program, and then they've turned into more or less the Syracuse of old, and you guys are all shaking your head at this point. This is a game that Fran Brown has to win. To get rid of all of the stigma, to get everything off of the back, Fran Brown has to win this game. This has to change the program. I know it's really early in his tenure to say he has a program-making game. This is it for him today. And I think he can get it done. I'm going to take Hughes at home. I'll take the 4 points. I'll take the home dog. I like the Orange.
Yeah, Zach, I'm nodding my head because I completely agree with you. November is where the wheels have fallen off for this Syracuse football team in the past few years. You get that hot start in September, October, string some wins together, become bowl eligible, and then that second half of the season is just a slide. Winning, you know, the Holiday Bowl is not what this program wants to be known for. Losing by 14 in the Holiday Bowl, whatever it may be, they got to get it done today. I'm going to take Syracuse.
I mean, you're talking about the Holiday Bowl. How about the Boca Raton Bowl last year where they got blown up by 40 by USF of all teams? That second half of the year, really a struggle for him. However, going into this game, I think McCord realizes that last game, that tanked his draft stock quite a bit. He really has to put out a big showing in this one. It's going to be, can Syracuse's defense stop the run game of Virginia Tech? Because they have not defended the run well at all whatsoever this year. But I think McCord and his passing ability will be able to step up, take Syracuse in this one.
Yeah, I'm going to take Syracuse. This is my favoritism showing here, but I feel like this is, for me, like Batman. You know, like I believe in Harvey Dent. Well, I believe in Fran Brown. I believe that he can turn this program around. One bad game doesn't show that. I know it looks like the Syracuse of old, but I feel a different vibe when it comes to him. He's a top recruiter. Like he's got some toughness, some dog, some swagger in him that I really, really like. So I'm going to take Syracuse. I think he'll get them to bounce back in this game. Kyle McCord especially. He's behind his quarterback 110%. You can see that every time he talks. So I feel like that. I agree this is 100% a very important game for Syracuse to show that this is not the Syracuse of old and that this is a new era, the Fran Brown era for Syracuse.
Yeah, I mean, this is, like we've all mentioned, this is kind of going to be the turning point, and we'll see if this is the turning point not just for the season, but for the program and for at least Fran Brown's tenure here with the Orange. But not the only team near the Finger Lakes getting going. Michael, you got a little bit more information on a record-breaking Cortland Red Dragon team,
Of course I do. The Cortland Red Dragons are looking to keep their 19-game winning streak rolling as they face Hartwick Hawks at home. The number 2 ranked team in Division III football shouldn't have too much trouble with the 2-5 Hawks, who are coming off a win against Hilbert College. Cortland's point differential on this season is sitting at just about 48 points per game. And yes, you heard that right. They're beating their opponents by almost 50 points a game. On the other side, Hartwick has suffered 3 losses this season by more than 50 points. The Hawks will be hoping for a miracle this afternoon at Grady Field, but this one has all the makings of a blowout.
And the Cornell Big Red are hitting the road for an Ivy matchup with Princeton. Both teams sitting at 1-2 are looking to get back up to 500. There's a storied history between these two teams, but Cornell may be coming with some extra motivation as Princeton has taken the last 5 games against the Big Red. To win the Ivy League, it's likely that neither team can afford a second loss on the season, as Dartmouth, Columbia, Harvard, and Brown all sit ahead of the teams in the standing. Last year's matchup between these two teams ended in a 14-3 Princeton victory. And will this continue to be a low-scoring trend, or will both offenses come alive today?
And it'll be the final Liberty League game for Ithaca on the road as they travel to Union College this afternoon. In 19 past matchups, the Hawks are 15-4 against Union, including wins in each of the last 3 games. Since 2010, there's only been 1 loss for Ithaca against Union. Ithaca's coming off a 49-14 win over Buffalo State. They're looking to keep their winning ways rolling.
And one more game here in the Southern Tier. The Colgate Red Raiders are taking a trip to the Big Apple, squaring off with Fordham. Colgate sitting at just 2-6 on the season, but Fordham yet to see a win in the win column as well. They sport an 0-8 record. Colgate leads this series all time with 26 wins. This one a 1 o'clock kickoff in the Bronx. And of course, don't forget about WBNG's day of the game as well. Day of the game. Day of the game, yes. Oregon taking on Michigan. This is a Big Ten showdown. Ducks will look to remain unbeaten and atop the AP. Michigan trying to get back in the win column. This one kicks it off at 3:30, and we will be right back with our pick for this game and the rest of the Saturday slate.
With Life Alert, one touch of a button can get you help fast.
I've fallen and I can't get up.
Don't worry, help is on the way.
With any of Life Alert's 3 emergency systems, help can be summoned immediately, and batteries never need charging.
I was having a stroke, and I was scared to death.
If it weren't for Life Alert, I wouldn't be sitting here today.
Life Alert is a lifesaver.
My husband is alive because of Life Alert.
Life Alert is the lifesaver to keep me out of assisted living.
Life Alert saves a life every 11 minutes.
For a free Life Alert brochure, call 1-800-295-1935. That's 1-800-295-1935. Call now, 1-800-295-1935.
I take caring for my kitty very seriously. So when I found a health monitoring kitty litter, I had to meet the creator.
Oh, hi, kitten.
Please, I told you to call me Martha. This litter seriously stops odors, and it changes colors.
Smart and pretty, you could say.
You're going to make me blush. I love that it's lightweight, low dust, and delivers right to my doorstep.
Try it today. Go to prettylitter.com.
From the nicest man in Mayberry.
I'm an honest man and an honest sheriff.
To the biggest mouth in Queens.
You're gonna love this!
You won't find a better sheriff.
Well, shucks.
Or a worse neighbor.
That's the dumbest thing I ever heard.
The Andy Griffith Show, weeknights at 8.
I think you're the best sheriff in the whole world.
And All in the Family, Sundays at 8.
Get lost.
Weekends and weeknights on Binghamton's MeTV.
Have you ever seen this man before?
Hi.
They're a tag team of legal eagles.
My name is Mason.
Ben Matlock.
A duo of courtroom commanders.
Are you sure?
And they're both part of the...
Objection.
Objection, Your Honor.
Objection.
Objection Connection.
Your witness, Mr. Berger.
Gotcha.
So put a little habeas in your corpus with Ben and Perry.
Weekdays starting at 9 a.m. on Binghamton's MeTV.
No further questions.
Fall in the Southern Tier. It's a beautiful time of year. But when the seasons change, being the most accurate with your first alert matters. Cold and rainy one day, sunny and warm the next. That means you need to be prepared. Plan your day with 12 News' first alert weather team, notifying you to severe and changing weather in the area you're headed. When the seasons change, accuracy matters. The 12 News weather team, the Southern Tier is most accurate.
Sports Team presents your Southern Tier Kickoff.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER if you are a Pennsylvania resident, or call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY if you are a resident of New York. Please gamble responsibly. All right, all of our picks are already up on the WBNG website and as well the standings, but we are going to blow right through these because we are running out of time. Pittsburgh at SMU. I like Pitt. I like the 18th ranked team getting 7.5 points on the road.
I like Pitt as well.
And both teams are missing their starting QBs, but Preston Stone for SMU, he played 12 games last year. Give me SMU.
I'm taking Pitt. I just saw what they did to the Syracuse Orange, so I'm taking Pitt.
All right, we are going to head south, Florida versus Georgia, for what used to be known as the world's largest outdoor cocktail party. I like Florida. I think this is a team that's gotten much better since a bad loss against the #5 team ranked in the country. I'm going to go ahead and take the Gators.
Take the Bulldogs. I think they're good. I think they'll roll.
I'm going to go with Georgia just because I know if I pick Florida, it's going to be a blowout game.
I'm going Georgia as well. I think it's not going to be close, unfortunately. But it's a big rivalry game, so you never know what's going to happen. All
right, our WBNG game of the day, Oregon at Michigan. I like the Fighting Ducks in this one to cover the 14.5. I'll take the #1 team in the country.
I'd take Oregon at 30.5. Let's go Oregon.
And Oregon's offense is too good, and they've looked better and better and more gelled each week, so go with Oregon on this.
I'm also going to go with Oregon. I hate to go against Michigan, but I'm a little biased there, but I have to go Oregon.
All right, and then USC and Washington, the nightcap here. Huskies getting 2 points at home. I think that's a tougher environment than what people give them credit for. And USC really, I think, has punted on this season. So I'm going to take the Huskies.
Depends on what USC you get. Something deep down inside of me is telling me you get the electric offense type of USC today. Let's go with USC.
I mean, both teams are a shell of what they were last year, but both of them going into this one, I think USC just has a little bit of a better offense.
I agree totally with Kyle there. I think USC is a little bit better. I trust in Lincoln Riley a little bit more, so I'm going to go with USC.
All right, we got about a minute left before we say goodbye to you. So real quick, let's go around the table and talk about the game of the day that's off the board that we haven't talked about. What are you looking forward to seeing today?
Yeah, it's November, month where, you know, we celebrate our veterans. Started off early. Army, Air Force this afternoon. Let's see if this undefeated Army team can keep it rolling.
And I'm going right to a trap game. Texas A&M, #1 in the SEC. They're going down to William Bryce Stadium in South Carolina. That's a dang hard place to play. And I mean, Aggies, you gotta keep going with this. You can't let the hype get over you.
You really hit the draw hard on the dang there.
I'm going to go with Tennessee, Kentucky. Got #7 Tennessee hosting Kentucky, so I think it's a big SEC matchup. So I'm going to lean towards Tennessee on that one.
The rivalry matchup as well, and I like Miami and Duke, which kicks off in just a couple of moments. #5 team in the country going up against a 6-2 Duke team. Let's see if the U can remain undefeated, and we appreciate you tuning in. Thank you for starting off your Southern Tier Kickoff right here.